When someone stops calling you their girlfriend and starts introducing you as their partner, everything shifts. And that's exactly what just happened with Nic and Olandria from Love Island USA Season 7, and the internet is absolutely losing it. We're talking about Nicolandria, the couple that came in second place but somehow ended up winning at life. Nic just hard-launched Olandria as his partner, not his girlfriend, his partner. And if you know anything about relationship terminology, you know that's a completely different level. Meanwhile, people are still mad about them doing promotions together. Olandria is securing bags left and right with brands like Nic and Vaseline, and the haters, including some interesting takes from Taylor and others about this interracial couple, just can't seem to let them be great. From Greek Fest to DoorDash ads, from Ace's commentary to the Cierra situation that started it all, we're breaking down why this Love Island dating show couple is about to prove everyone wrong about what happens after the villa. Buckle up, because this story has more layers than you think. Before we dive into all this tea, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. I promise I'll make it worth your while with all the Love Island USA drama you can handle. Plus, you'll get notifications every time one of these couples does something wild. And trust me, with Nicolandria, that's pretty much every other day.
Let's rewind to just a few days ago, when the internet collectively lost its mind. Greek Fest was supposed to be a regular event, one of those DJ gigs that Nic has been booking all over the country. Fans showed up expecting to see him do his thing, maybe get a quick photo, the usual. But then Olandria pulled up a full day early, completely surprising everyone, and what followed was basically 2 days of pure chaos that fans started calling Ola Fest. The energy at that event was unmatched. Fans were showing up with gifts, letters, and that genuine love that you rarely see for reality TV couples. Olandria spent hours meeting supporters, taking photos, reading handwritten notes, and you could see on her face that she was genuinely touched by the whole experience. This wasn't some rushed meet and greet where she's checking her phone every 5 seconds. She was present, engaged, and soaking it all in. What made it even more special was watching Nic and Olandria together as a unit. They were getting couple gifts, taking photos together, and the way Nic was looking at her the entire time told you everything you needed to know. This man was proud. Not just proud to have her there, but proud of her. Proud of what they built. Proud to show her off to his world. They hung out at a football game, posted back-to-back content on Snapchat, and basically gave fans the content they'd been craving since the season ended back in July. The chemistry was undeniable. The love was real. And anyone still questioning whether this relationship would last outside the villa got their answer in the most beautiful way possible.
More serious than people realize. During one of those candid moments at Greek Fest, Nic introduced Olandria to someone. And he didn't say girlfriend. He said partner. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just semantics, right? Wrong, dead wrong. There's a massive difference between calling someone your girlfriend and calling them your partner. And anyone who's been in a serious relationship knows exactly what I'm talking about. Girlfriend is cute, it's fun, it's living in the moment and enjoying the honeymoon phase. It's what you say when you're dating someone and seeing where things go. But partner? Partner is a whole different energy. Partner means you're building something. Partner means you see a future. Partner means this person is your equal in every sense of the word, someone you're planning to navigate life with, not just someone you're casually dating. Think about it this way. When you introduce someone as your girlfriend, you're saying, this is the person I'm romantically involved with right now. When you introduce someone as your partner, you're saying, this is the person I'm building my life with. That's not a subtle distinction. That's a fundamental shift in how you view the relationship and where it's heading. And for Nic to make that shift just a few months out of the villa shows you that whatever you felt for Olandria on Love Island has only gotten stronger, deeper, and more concrete in the real world. This isn't some showmance that fizzled out when the camera stopped rolling. This is the real deal. And the terminology he's using is proof of that. Remember, this is the same guy who had to ask someone else the day before she left the villa what it meant to be closed off. We'll get to that whole situation later, but the contrast between how he approached that connection versus how he's moving with Olandria tells you everything.
Hold on, because it gets better. And this is where the haters really start to show their whole behind.
Ever since Nicolandria left Love Island USA Season 7, they've been absolutely crushing it when it comes to brand deals and promotions. We're talking about a level of success that most winners don't even achieve. And they came in second place. Let that sink in for a second. They didn't win the show. They didn't get that prize money. But they're out here moving like they hit the jackpot anyway. Olandria has been securing individual deals left and right. NYX Cosmetics made her a brand ambassador, and when she promoted their products, some items literally sold out within hours. Hours! That's the kind of influence brands dream about. Then you've got Vaseline tapping her for campaigns, Microsoft bringing her in for promotions, and Aino making her a spokesperson. This isn't small-time stuff. These are major corporations recognizing her value and her reach. But wait, we're not done. As a couple, Nic and Olandria have been booking major campaigns together too. Sweetgreen created a whole salad called Ranchy Batty specifically for them. DoorDash got them for advertisements. These aren't just random local business shoutouts. These are national campaigns with major brands. Nick's DJ career has been taking off independently too. His Greek Fest tours have been selling out, his food content is getting traction, and he's building a legitimate career outside of just being a reality TV person. They're both winning individually and together, which is exactly how a healthy power couple should operate. You support each other's individual growth while also capitalizing on the strength of being together. That's the blueprint right there.
Now, before you click away, you need to hear this part, because this is where it gets absolutely ridiculous. Despite all this success, despite them clearly thriving both individually and as a couple, there's a loud group of people online who won't stop complaining. And what are they complaining about? That Nic and Olandria do too many promotions together. Let me repeat that so we can really marinate. People are mad that a couple from a dating show called Love Island are doing couple promotions together. Make it make sense. The whole entire point of Love Island is to form couples. That's literally the concept of the show. You go in there to find love, build a connection, and leave as a couple if things work out. They finished second place as one of the most popular couples of the season. But somehow people are shocked and upset that brands want to book them together. The math isn't mathing. What makes this even more frustrating is people acting like Olandria doesn't have her own brand outside of Nic. Have you been paying attention? Did you miss the part where she's been featured in multiple high-fashion magazines? Where she's got major individual deals with NYX, Vaseline, Microsoft, and Aino? Where she's building her own lane while also being part of a successful couple? This narrative that she's somehow riding coattails or doesn't have her own identity is not only false, it's disrespectful. She came into Love Island as her own person with her own following and her own style, and she left the same way, just with more opportunities and a partner who supports her growth. The audacity of people trying to diminish her individual success just because she's also thriving as part of a couple is wild. And let's be real about what's actually happening here, because there's an elephant in the room that people keep dancing around. A lot of the hate directed at Nicolandria, specifically at Olandria for being with Nic, has nothing to do with their actual relationship and everything to do with the fact that it's an interracial relationship. The way some people talk about them, the energy they bring, the constant nitpicking, it's not normal fan criticism. It's something else entirely. There's this weird undercurrent of people who claim to support black women, but then get upset when a black woman is loved and cherished by someone who happens to not be black. The mental gymnastics are exhausting. You can't say you want black women to be loved and protected and then get mad when they are just because the person loving them doesn't meet your specific criteria. Love is love, and Olandria deserves to be happy with whoever makes her happy, whether that person is black, white, or anything else. This needs to be said louder for the people in the back. We're almost at the end of October. The show ended in July. The reunion wrapped in August. It's been months, and people are still wasting energy hating on this couple. At this point, you just have to be miserable. There's no other explanation. Happy people don't spend their time tearing down others who are clearly thriving. If you're commenting negatively on every post, making up narratives and actively rooting for them to fail, that says way more about your own unhappiness than it does about their relationship. Maybe instead of worrying about what Nic and Olandria are doing, worry about why you're so invested in their downfall. Get a hobby, find your own happiness, touch some grass, do something productive with your time besides spreading negativity.
Here's where it all started making sense.
And this is the part that really separates casual dating from serious relationship energy. Just a few weeks after leaving the villa, Olandria had a conversation with Nic where she made it crystal clear that she dates with intention. She told him straight up that she dates to marry, not to waste time, not to play games, not to see what happens. She dates to find her life partner. That's a heavy conversation to have so early on. And the fact that Nic didn't run for the hills tells you he was on the same page. Most guys would hear that in panic, especially just a few weeks out of a reality show where everything is heightened and emotions are intense. But Nic leaned in. He embraced it. He showed her through his actions that he was equally serious about building something real. And the signs are everywhere if you're paying attention. Nic recently mentioned that he's not looking for a condo or an apartment. He's looking for a house, a whole house. This man just turned 24 and he's already thinking about buying property, building equity, creating a space that's meant for a family, not just a bachelor pad. That's not the mindset of someone who's casually dating. That's someone who's planning for a future that includes marriage, kids, the whole package. Then you've got Olandria tweeting about wanting to be married and possibly have a child by the time she's 30. She's putting it out into the universe, making her intentions known, and Nic is matching that energy. They're not hiding what they want or playing it cool to seem less invested. They're both all in, and they're moving accordingly. Their whole approach to this relationship has been refreshing, honestly. They're taking their time, not rushing into anything just because fans are pressuring them to get engaged or move in together immediately. They're traveling together, going to Disneyland, doing normal couple things, getting to know each other outside the pressure cooker of the villa. But they're also clearly building towards something permanent. The foundation they're laying is solid, intentional, and mature. This isn't a flash-in-the-pan romance that burns bright and flames out. This is slow-burn energy that's meant to last decades, not months. And anyone still doubting whether they're serious clearly hasn't been paying attention to the breadcrumbs they've been dropping. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Nicolandria, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I know, everyone asks you to subscribe, but I need you in this community. We're breaking down all the Love Island tea, and you don't want to miss when I cover what's next for these two Sorma.
But wait, there's more to this story, and we need to talk about the elephant that was in the villa, Taylor. Taylor made some interesting comments about Nic and Olandria's connection, specifically doubting whether there was real romantic chemistry there or if they were more of a friendship couple. At the time, his perspective made sense to some people because, from the outside looking in, their connection did build differently than some of the more explosive, dramatic couples. They weren't having screaming matches or going through constant ups and downs. Their relationship was steady, consistent, and built on genuine friendship first. But Taylor's doubts have aged like milk in the sun, haven't they? Because everything that's happened since they left the villa has proven that their connection was not only real, but stronger than most of the couples who seemed more passionate in the moment. The thing about relationships built on friendship is they tend to last longer because they're built on a solid foundation of actually liking each other as people, not just being physically attracted or caught up in the intensity of the moment. Nic and Olandria genuinely enjoy each other's company. You can see it in every video, every photo, every interaction. They laugh together, they support each other's goals, they show up for each other in meaningful ways. That's not friendship couple energy, that's life partner energy. And the fact that they've continued to grow closer and more in love since leaving the show proves that what they had in the villa was authentic. It just manifested differently than what people expected. Not every great love story starts with fireworks and drama. Sometimes the best ones start with two people who make each other laugh and genuinely want the best for each other.
Speaking of the villa, we can't talk about Nic's journey without addressing the whole situation with Cierra. For those who need a refresher, before Nic fully committed to Olandria, he was exploring a connection with someone else. The night before she was about to leave the villa, Nic literally had to ask her what it meant to be closed off. That question alone tells you everything about where his head was at with that situation. He was confused, uncertain, trying to figure out what was even happening between them. Compare that energy to how he moved with Olandria. There was never any question, never any confusion, never any need to ask basic questions about where they stood. From the moment they really locked in, it was clear, intentional, and mutual. The contrast is striking. When that other connection ended and Nic pivoted his full attention to Olandria, some people tried to paint it as him settling or going with the safe choice, but that's not what happened at all. What happened was Nic got clarity. He realized that the connection that felt confusing and complicated wasn't the right one, and the connection that felt easy and natural and right was exactly where he was supposed to be. That's not settling. That's growth. That's maturity. That's recognizing that the person who makes you feel at peace is worth more than the person who makes you feel chaos. And everything that's happened since that moment has validated his choice. He chose Olandria fully, completely, and without reservation, and she chose him the same way. That's why they're thriving while other couples from the season have already broken up.
The dynamics in that villa were complex, no doubt. With personalities like Ace commenting on everything, other couples forming and breaking apart, and the constant pressure of cameras and public opinion, it wasn't an easy environment to find real love. But Nic and Olandria managed to cut through all the noise and build something authentic. They didn't get caught up in the drama for drama's sake. They stayed focused on each other, communicated openly, and made intentional choices about their relationship. That's why they came in second place but walked away as one of the strongest couples. The public voted based on entertainment and drama, but what Nic and Olandria built was substance. And substance always wins in the long run. Now let's talk about what's next for them, because if you think they're slowing down, you haven't been paying attention. Nic has more Greek Fest tour dates coming up, and based on how the last one went, you already know they're going to be packed. Fans are showing up in droves to support him, and the energy at these events has been incredible. His DJ career is legitimately taking off, not just as a side hustle, but as a real business. He's building a brand, creating a lane for himself in the entertainment industry that has nothing to do with reality TV. That's smart. That's thinking long term. Because the reality TV fame fades, but skills and talent and building a real business, that lasts.
Olandria's trajectory is equally impressive. With the brand deals she's already secured and the momentum she's building, we're definitely going to see more major partnerships announced soon. She's becoming a sought-after influencer and brand ambassador, the kind of person that companies want associated with their products because she brings authenticity and reach. Her style, her personality, her relatability, all of it is marketable in the best way possible. And the fact that she's managed to build this while also being in a high-profile relationship shows she knows how to balance both. She's not letting the relationship overshadow her individual growth, and she's not sacrificing the relationship to chase individual success. She's doing both, and she's making it look easy. As for the relationship itself, engagement rumors are already swirling. Fans are analyzing every post, every comment, every interaction, looking for clues that Nic might be ready to propose. And honestly, based on everything we've covered, based on the language he's using, the moves he's making, the way they talk about their future, it wouldn't be surprising at all if an engagement announcement came sooner rather than later. They're both on the same page about wanting marriage and family. They're both serious about their commitment to each other. The only question is timing, and even that feels like it's coming together. Whether it's 6 months from now or a year from now, there's a ring in Olandria's future, and everyone can feel it.
What's beautiful about their journey is that they're doing it their way, on their timeline, without bowing to outside pressure or expectations. They're not rushing to hit relationship milestones just because fans want content or because other couples are moving faster. They're building their foundation properly, getting to know each other in the real world, traveling together, meeting each other's families, having important conversations about the future. All of that groundwork matters. All of that preparation means that when they do take the next step, whether it's moving in together, getting engaged, or getting married, it'll be because they're truly ready, not because they felt pressured to perform for an audience.
The support they're getting from real fans, the ones who genuinely want to see them happy and successful, has been overwhelming in the best way possible. The love they felt at Greek Fest, the excitement when they post new content together, the way people celebrate their wins, both individual and as a couple, it's all evidence that they've built something special that resonates with people. Sure, there are haters. There will always be haters. But the love far outweighs the negativity, and that's what matters. They're building a community of supporters who see their genuine connection and want to root for them. That kind of support is invaluable, especially in an industry where public opinion can shift so quickly.
Let's circle back to where we started, with that one word that changes everything: partner. Nic calling Olandria his partner wasn't just a casual slip of the tongue or an accidental word choice. It was intentional, meaningful, and telling. It shows you exactly how he sees her and how he sees their future together. She's not just the girl he's dating from that show he was on. She's his partner in life, his equal, the person he's choosing to build with every single day. That's the kind of love that lasts. That's the kind of relationship that survives the transition from reality TV to real life. That's the foundation of something permanent. Think about your own life for a second. Think about the relationships you've seen that actually worked long-term. They're built on partnership, on mutual respect, on both people being equally invested in each other's growth and happiness. That's what Nic and Olandria have. They're not performing for cameras anymore. They're living real life together, and they're choosing each other over and over again. Every brand deal they do together, every event they attend, every quiet moment they share away from the public eye, it all reinforces that choice. They're proving that reality TV love can be real, that connections formed in artificial environments can translate to the real world, and that coming in second place doesn't mean you lost anything important.
The haters need to ask themselves a real question. What are you getting out of this negativity? Does it make you feel better to try to tear down two people who are clearly happy and successful? Does it validate something in your own life to root for their failure? Because from where everyone else is standing, Nic and Olandria are winning. They're happy, they're thriving, they're in love, and they're building something beautiful together. No amount of negative comments or bitter think pieces is going to change that reality. They're going to keep getting brand deals. They're going to keep showing up at events together. And they're eventually going to get engaged and married and build the family they both want. Your negativity won't stop any of that from happening. It just makes you look miserable. For everyone else, the real supporters who have been rooting for Nic and Olandria from day one, keep that energy going. Stream their content, support their individual projects, engage with their posts, and celebrate their wins. Olandria's partnership with NYX and Vaseline and Microsoft and Aino, support it. Buy the products if they align with what you need. Engage with the content. Help boost her visibility. Nic's Greek Fest tours and DJ gigs, show up if you're in the area. Share his music. Help him build that career. Their couple promotions like the sweet green salad or DoorDash ads, try them out. Share your experience. Keep the engagement high. That's how you support the people you claim to love, not just with words, but with action.
The beautiful thing about where Nicolandria is right now is that this is just the beginning. They're a few months out of Love Island USA Season 7, and they've already accomplished more than most reality TV couples accomplish in years. Imagine where they'll be a year from now. 2 years from now, 5 years from now. If they're already calling each other partner, already talking about houses and marriage and kids, already building successful individual careers while maintaining a strong relationship, the sky is literally the limit. They're going to be that couple that people point to as an example of how to do it right, how to leave a dating show and actually build a life together. How to balance individual success with relationship goals, how to ignore the noise and focus on what matters.
And when that engagement announcement eventually comes, and you know it's coming, the internet is going to break. Fans are going to lose their minds in the best way possible. The same people who are hating now are going to be in the comments pretending they supported them all along. That's how it always goes. But the real ones, the people who have been here supporting them through the criticism and the doubt and the unnecessary drama, they're going to celebrate like it's their own engagement. Because that's what real community does. We celebrate each other's wins, especially when those wins come after people tried so hard to tear them down.
The interracial relationship hate, the complaints about them doing promotions together, the narrative that Olandria doesn't have her own brand, all of it has been disproven time and time again. But even if it hadn't been, even if the haters had valid points, which they don't, it still wouldn't matter. Because at the end of the day, Nic and Olandria are the ones living their lives, making their choices, and building their future. They're not doing it for public approval. They're doing it because they found something real in a fake environment, and they're committed to nurturing it and protecting it and growing it into something that lasts forever. That's admirable. That's aspirational. That's what love is supposed to look like. Before we wrap this up, hit that subscribe button one last time if you haven't already. I'm going to keep bringing you updates on Nicolandria and all your favorite Love Island USA couples. You don't want to miss what happens next because, based on everything we've covered today, big things are coming. Engagement announcements, maybe a house purchase, definitely more brand deals, and probably a whole lot more content that proves the doubters wrong.
So here's what you need to take away from all of this. Nicolandria is not just surviving the post-Love Island reality, they're absolutely thriving in it. Nic calling Olandria his partner is significant because it shows long-term commitment and serious intentions. Their brand deal success, both individually and together, proves that second place doesn't mean second best. The criticism they face, especially regarding their interracial relationship, says more about the critics than it does about them. And everything they're doing, from the way they talk about their future to the moves they're making in their careers, points to a couple that's building something permanent. They dated on a show called Love Island, they came in second to another couple, but they're about to show everyone what it really means to win at love and life after reality TV. The partner era has officially begun, and if you're not on board yet, you're going to want to be. Because Nicolandria is just getting started, and what comes next is going to be even better than what we've already seen. Keep supporting them, keep celebrating their wins, and get ready for the engagement announcement that's inevitably coming. This is the love story that almost didn't happen, that people said wouldn't last, and that's proving everyone wrong, one brand deal and one partner introduction at a time.